Good evening, everyone. How are y'all doing? Hope everybody had a great day. Thankfully, the weekend's not over yet, so definitely have some time left. I hope that you were able to make the most of the day. I know I was. Had my buddy David come over earlier and really kind of give me a hand in the yard. Got a lot accomplished that I really wasn't planning on getting done today. I'll post pictures later. I was able to, excuse me, I really hope I don't do this again. If I start doing this too much, I'll take y'all in the kitchen with me and make myself a cup of coffee while we're talking. Um, my buddy David was able to come over and we got some weeds cut away with a hatchet that I wasn't planning on doing today, which was good. Got that section of my fence done, so that's done. Was able to work on my spool and get the center cut out. So phase one of that project is done, and now I move on to phase two, which is sanding and finishing. So definitely moving right along. Have the materials that I need to start the next section of my fence. So if that doesn't happen this weekend, it will happen next weekend, and be able to get that going. So I wanted to start the night off by answering the questions that my friend had posted last night. And if y'all don't mind, I'm going to go ahead and pull out my phone and look those up real quick. See if I can find it here. It should be right here. Interesting. Okay, let me see if I can find her post. Posted. Okay, so the first question that she asks is, we want to eat better but live on one paycheck with 4 people. How can we do this? Well, so my family and I, for those of you that don't know, my family and I, we only get to go to the grocery store once a month. And that money, we're on a very tight budget, and that money comes out of my paycheck. We have 2 paychecks, but my wife's, pretty much her entire paycheck goes to paying another bill. So we also have 4 people. Granted, one of them is a 4-month, so don't have to worry about food just yet for that one, but we're getting there. He's 4 months, about to be 5, and they say at 6 is when you can start on foods like rice cereal. So definitely about to start buying food for 4 people, and that money is still only coming out of my paycheck. So one of the things that we do, and I don't know if they have an HEB by them or not, I didn't get a chance to ask them, but one of the things that we do, we shop at HEB, and we go for all those deals that you find in the store. We get the best deals we can in order to make our money go further. And so whenever we go grocery shopping, we have to be sure and buy enough food to last us an entire month. I only get paid once a month, and so our grocery bill is up high enough that we can get enough food to last us the course of a month before we have to go again. Now, the other part of her question says that they want to eat better, but live on one paycheck. And so it's being able to eat better includes things like fruits, vegetables, lean meats like chicken, which also have a lot of protein, but also being able to buy in bulk. And so we shop at HEB because we can do all that and um, and eat better at the same time. So we buy those fruits and those vegetables. We buy a lot of frozen vegetables. Um, the fruit that we buy, um, we usually will slice it up and stick it in the freezer because um, they we eat a lot of fruit mainly for our breakfast, and so my wife also makes smoothies, and so we freeze a lot of that fruit so it'll stay fresher longer, and then put it in our smoothies. So um, that is definitely one thing that we do. Also look for other. Y'all, I'm sorry, I gotta make myself a cup of coffee. So we're gonna go to my kitchen real quick. Ben Mac. So let me just unplug this real quick, and we'll go to the kitchen and make myself a cup of coffee. So anyway, we still like our bacon. We like our ground meat, like hamburger meat. But so what we do in order to eat better and on a very strict diet, we usually will buy the pounds of ground meat, like like the 3-4 pounds of ground meat that will freeze. My wife will usually break it up, and she'll freeze it in order for it to stay fresher longer, so it will last us a month. Now, also eating better, my family and I, we like our bacon, okay? But if you want to be able to eat better and still have things like that, maybe find an alternative to the bacon. Like my family and I, instead of having pork bacon, we actually will have turkey bacon. It's a lot leaner, definitely not as fatty, cooks a little quicker, and really truly tastes pretty good. So that is definitely one of those things that you can do to substitute your living better and also on a budget. Now, if you're like me and you only get paid once a month, a budget is a little harder to do. I know, because I've been trying to figure it out for 3 years. So we have to figure out, if I set aside, let's say $300, that $300 we have to make sure will get us through that month as far as food. And I know you're probably thinking, well, that's not a whole lot of money. You're right, it's not. But that's also partly why we shop at HEB, is so that that $300 will go as far as we need it to go until I get paid again. Now, it doesn't always work. Sometimes there are deals that we think will be great in the long run and don't work out quite as well as we'd hope they would. So a month can get a little sketchy. I'm a very firm believer, though, that God always provides, and He has yet to let us down where money is concerned or where food is concerned. Now, it doesn't mean that my wife doesn't get a little tricky with meals sometimes, and we might have...
Not tricky, creative.
Creative. Thank you, honey. I think there was one time a couple months ago where we ate pancakes for dinner. Was it 2-3 times that week?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that, because the pancake batter that we have is already pre-mixed. All you got to do is add water. So, and we don't eat a whole lot of pancakes in one meal. So, my wife can use, is it like 3-4 cups of batter, and make like 6-7 pancakes, and we'll all get our fair share. My son, who is 7 years old, but he's a twig. I swear you'd think we didn't feed him at all. But he eats like a bird. He'll eat like 1 or 1.5 pancakes, and then he's full. So There are definite ways to get creative when you're on a budget, but also want to eat better. Now, eating better, there's the other side of it. You've got to look for those things that are healthier for your family, but still fall within your budget. I'll tell you what, since I'm in my kitchen, let me show y'all something. This trip, I told y'all that me and my family eat a lot of frozen vegetables, right? Read your packages to see what's in there. But this is one of our bags of frozen vegetables. Let's see. How much is this? Net weight is 80 ounces. 80 ounces, honey, what does that convert to? Maybe about 5 pounds?
Divide it by 16 ounces.
Divide it by 16 ounces? Okay, my brain's a little tired. I'm going to pull out my calculator. Let's see. 80 ounces divided by 16 ounces per pound. Okay, so yeah, I was right. It's a 5-pound bag of vegetables. Okay, but this is only one of the ones that we bought. We also bought a 5-pound bag of corn. I love having a bowl of corn for a meal. But, honey, what would you think? Out of those 5-pound bags of vegetables, how many meals can we get? Roughly.
Oh, probably somewhere between 4 and 6, usually.
Okay, so 4 and 6 meals out of one bag of vegetables. So, there's...
That's preps, that's not meals. Usually a prep will do dinner and lunch the next day.
Okay, so that's another thing that I was about to touch on that my wife just mentioned. My wife does a lot of meal prepping. So, she will often do... What did you say? Meal prep day is what you call it?
Yeah, I do a meal prep day. Usually, I try to do it once a month.
Okay, so meal prep day is exactly that. My wife will go through, she'll put all the ingredients together, and she will come up with these meals that will feed us a dinner and a lunch, usually the next day. As we both work for the school district, our lunches are at different times. This year, my wife's lunch is at, was it 12:45 to 1:15, honey?
Yes.
And mine is from 12 to 1. My crazy dog needs to go out, so I hope y'all don't mind. We're going to take a trip out to my backyard real quick.
They won't work in the dark, they won't be able to see you.
Oh, she's right. Okay, I'll tell you what. Mac, hold on. We're going to go ahead and we're going to end this session for right now. We're going to take a small break. Y'all give me just a couple minutes. I apologize for any background noise you may hear, but I'll only be gone for a few minutes, and then we will come back and we'll continue, okay? So y'all give me just a few minutes, all right? that. Um, my apologies. Couldn't really be helped. So anyway, my wife does meal prep day in which she preps all these foods. I mean, we're talking, gosh, I don't even know, 15, 20 foods, 20 different meals.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes. And then she makes a party of it. So she'll have friends come over and they'll do meal preps with her. And so that is definitely one thing that has truly helped feeding our family because I mean, there are days we eat a lot of roast on Sundays because we throw it in the crock pot, we go to church, we come back, it's ready for lunch. So it really, um, I mean, you've got to be very strict with your budget. My wife probably will tell you that she hates our budget because we have to be very careful about not going over our budget. That's all we can really afford. And so, eating better, she'll prep these meals that are delicious, full of vegetables, sometimes full or has a lot of fruit on there as a side, um, high fiber, and these meals are absolutely fabulous. In fact, I can't really remember the last time I added salt to a meal because of how good they are. She blends them so well that I don't have to think about it. There's a ton of flavor in there. And so, answering the other part of my friend's question, we want to eat better. Well, you've got to be able to make those choices. You've got to find those things that will allow you to eat better and stay within a budget. And that can be incredibly difficult. I told y'all that my wife will freeze a lot of fruit. I think we probably buy, what would you say, honey, about $15, $20 worth of fruit? And then you freeze it.
More.
Sometimes more. And I'm not saying, like $15, $20 worth of apples. I'm saying like the big containers of strawberries that you can buy at like $1.97 a pound. The containers of blueberries that are usually...
They're about $3 a piece.
About $3 per container. She'll divide all this up. She'll cut up all the strawberries.
Pineapples, bananas.
I mean, whatever you can.
Occasionally, our local grocery store will do a bag of bananas for 99 cents.
Okay, and when we say a bag, we're talking
like
2-3 bundles of bananas?
Yeah, probably. It's a paper bag.
Okay, so think about your standard grocery paper bag. Okay.
Well, no, it's not that big. It's like it's about the size of 2 paper lunch sacks.
Okay.
Your average to go, like McDonald's bag or whatever.
Okay, so think about the McDonald's bag that you get when you order a meal. It's usually about the size of that.
And it's full and overflowing with bananas for 99 cents.
Yeah, I mean, so we buy a lot of fruit, something that is very healthy, full of potassium. What is it? Potassium in bananas.
Potassium in bananas. The trick is shopping the deals, finding the deals, and getting the things that you like.
Yeah, I don't know how well y'all heard that, but the trick is shopping the deals and finding the deals that you like that will help your family get further. So take, for instance, at H-E-B. I don't know if you have an H-E-B near you or not, who's ever watching. But like at our H-E-B, all H-E-Bs, they have what's called a meal deal. And usually you buy the entree, which some cases is hot dogs or...
This month was the family pack of sausage links that I do our sausage and veggies out of.
Okay, so you buy the package of sausage links, and you get all the sides and the fixings to go with it for free.
This one was a bag of tortillas, mustard, a bottle of Dr. Pepper, and something else. A lot of it is things that we were going to buy anyway, but we shopped the deals. I was going to buy the sausage, so this time I ended up getting 2 packages because we absolutely love sausage and veggies.
And when she says sausage and veggies, I mean it's just that. She cuts up sausage links, throws in some of some of those frozen vegetables, and that is a meal. And usually that one meal
Season it and bake it, and I mean, I don't put butter or oil or anything with it.
What you put? What house seasoning? I think it is.
A lot of times I put Italian seasoning.
Italian seasoning. Okay, so Italian seasoning, and
there's no salt in it. I may do a little bit of salt and pepper.
Yeah, but so if you want to eat better, it's a matter of shopping the deals that will allow you to buy better foods. Chicken, above anything else, is very high in protein. Okay, so try substituting chicken for beef or pork or some other meat that is typically traditionally very fatty. Switch it for something leaner like chicken or turkey, and I don't even know. We probably buy about 5 or 6 bags of frozen chicken or grilled chicken.
I get 3 usually.
3?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so 3 bags. Even still, that's a lot of chicken, but it makes, gosh, I don't even know, probably about half our meals.
Yeah.
His head turned completely sideways.
Yeah,
my wife just got done feeding our son, and he's being a baby, so he's watching the TV, watching all the funny animals that are on there, and then of course he's a Macmillan, so he overeats a little bit.
No, he doesn't overeat. He's a spitter.
He's a spitter. Oh, excuse me.
Mac.
Mac. Crazy dog too. So being able to eat better and being on a budget can be a trick, but it is possible because we do it every month. We only get to go shopping once a month. I always get nervous. Okay, I'm going to tell y'all right now. I'm going to be honest with you and up front. My budget as of this past week is $350 for a month. Okay, I actually just upped that. It was $300. So the number that I gave y'all a little bit ago, that was our grocery budget. Okay, $350 a month is all we can spend on groceries. So we make one big trip to H-E-B. We do all our grocery shopping for a month. And my wife will tell you, this is where I get nervous. Sometimes her math is off. Not often, but sometimes. And our bill will be $360 or $370. And I get nervous because I know what our budget is. And I know we can't afford that. Okay? So then, here come in all the coupons. And when I say coupons, I mean my wife usually has got a stack about that thick of coupons.
These are H-E-B in-store coupons.
Yeah, these are the in-store coupons that we find at H-E-B, okay? We've got like a stack of them. And they scan those in. No, Mac, I've already taken you outside. Go lay down. My goofy dog wants to go outside. He loves it outside. And I can't right now. I'm talking with y'all. So anyway, the in-store coupons are what we use. They scan in all these coupons, and without fail, 99% of the time, I'm incredibly nervous when they start. I'm a happy camper when they finish because my wife has gotten that $60, $70, however much we're over budget, back to being right on budget or just off budget. And it blows me away every time because
within a couple of dollars.
Yeah, a couple of dollars, okay? So our budget is $350, right? My wife will get, with the coupons, she'll get $370 worth of groceries for $348.
Well, we spent $325 this time.
We spent $325.
For $350, the bill was pushing $400, I think.
I think you're right. I think it was
$325.
It was close to $400, and by the time we were done, we had spent $325. So we actually kept a little bit of money in our budget, which was good because my son had an orthodontist appointment that same month. But so it's all about shopping the deals and replacing the foods that you would normally find, that you would normally buy, with the healthy alternative.
Instead of buying, you do make sacrifices in eating healthier.
You do.
Because healthier foods cost a little bit more. But if you plan your budget accordingly and you figure out what your family likes, and you shop the deals, that's the only way we do it.
How many times have we made spaghetti with meat sauce and the meat was actually ground turkey and you couldn't hardly tell?
You can't tell the difference.
I mean, it blows me away sometimes. You do make your sacrifices. My wife and I, we both love bacon. My son would eat bacon for every meal every day if we would let him. Okay, but we replace it with turkey bacon. It's still very good. It's a much leaner meat, and now you're eating better as well.
An
So,
alternative to that, if you just don't like the texture of turkey bacon, is buying the pre-cooked bacon. You buy pre-cooked bacon, and
they
just
definitely
a side
use
note, one of those it's a Weight Watchers thing. A slice of bacon is 1 point.
Okay.
Because it's already cooked the fat out, and then when you reheat it, it cooks out a little bit more.
Yeah, so
it renders out a little more.
And it actually tastes pretty good.
It tastes really good.
We've had that pre-cooked bacon on a few things, and it was actually very good. So there are definite ways to doing that. I hope that I answered my friend's question. It's been a half hour. We need to go ahead and move on. Her next question, she had mentioned, let me see if I can find it real quick. I want to make sure that I phrase this the right way. Come on, where are they? She had asked me what I did. She had said, blow up my notifications and tell me what you do as a network marketing professional. And so I told her that my page was McMillan Wellness. My Shaklee page was Steve McMillan. She asked me, what do you do? And I replied, I help people have a happier and healthier lifestyle while looking younger longer. And I gave her the link to my store. She then comes back and says, okay, so meal replacement, and here's her reason why. I skip meals because I'm a full-time student, full-time mama, and full-time business owner. She does Unique. It's just a makeup line. And in my opinion, there is never, unless you're in an emergency room, there's never really a good reason to skip a meal, okay? The average person, I don't know, I may have told y'all this before. When I started my journey, I was at 266 pounds, very well on my way to a size 48 pant and a size 3X shirt. I hated every minute of it. Now, I'm at 230 pounds. I work out like crazy. I'm incredibly active. And before, when I started all this, I was eating at least a solid 2 meals a day. Wasn't eating real good. I was eating what would fill me up and allow me to keep going. My habits were horrendous. During this journey, I learned that the average person should be eating anywhere between 5 and 6 times a day. And I'm sitting here thinking, are you kidding me? I'm doing good to eat 2. You expect me to eat 5 or 6? And so my little boy is getting sleepy. So if y'all hear some crying, it's just him trying to fight to stay awake. Now I'm eating 5 to 6 times a day. I have 3 meals, 2 or 3 snacks, and I've lost 37 pounds, 37 pounds. Right now I'm at 230. Most of the time I'm at 229. So 37 pounds, you're going to have those weeks where you might gain a little bit. It's okay. Don't flip out about that. Okay? You can make it back down. You can get there. Focus on what you had that week and correct it to include healthier foods going forward. So she had asked, are there meal replacements? With Shaklee, there most certainly are. My father, for those of you that may not know, is a leukemia survivor. To date, there still is no cure for leukemia, so the doctors call him, label him as permanent remission, meaning that the number of bad cells that he has in his body is so low that even if you round up, he's still sitting at 0. Okay, so as a meal replacement, during his journey of survival, we learned the hard way that you could actually live off Shaklee protein. Now it's considered more of a snack. So if you're having trouble eating 5, 6 times a day, you're thinking, okay, what am I going to do for snacks? Shaklee protein is a great way to take that edge off until your next meal. Now, I told y'all that I eat 5, 6 times a day. On the weekends, I'm not going to lie, I'm horrible about that. I might eat 1 square meal a day, either because I don't feel hungry or I'm working so hard I don't think to stop and eat, which really isn't a good thing. For right now, I haven't taught myself how to get away from that habit. So today, my wife tells me, "What have you eat?" or asks me, "What have you eaten today?" I had a bag of Cheez-Its, and
we're talking a snack pack.
No, actually, well, let me show y'all because I still have the wrapper.
It's a snack pack of Cheez-Its.
Is this?
Oh, okay.
This was pretty much all I had today. Okay, the whole bag is nearly empty. No, Mac, goofy dog. I'm not even real sure. The serving size is 27 crackers. Yeah. Maybe for a toddler.
That's the recommended serving size.
That's the recommended serving size. That's right. That doesn't fly for me. I ate nearly the whole bag. That is pretty much that, and a bottle of water is pretty much what I'd had today. So I'm not gonna tell y'all, oh yeah, I eat 5, 6 times a day, all day, every day, and I'm doing great in this. No. The truth is, I eat 5, 6 times a day. I'm really good about it during the business week because I have to think about it. I'm horrible at it on the weekends, okay? It's something that I have to train myself to do. But as a meal replacement, Shaklee has their Life Energizing Shake. You mix it. I mix mine with milk. And oddly enough, the healthier alternative to cow milk is actually almond or coconut milk. I choose to use almond milk. It saves me about 100 calories and still helps fill me up. So,
and if you get the vanilla, it tastes like marshmallows from Lucky Charms cereal.
Okay, that's her opinion. Okay, mine, I just think it tastes like a chocolate or a strawberry shake. But we use the vanilla. My wife uses the vanilla unsweetened. She uses it in a lot of her cooking, which not only makes her cooking healthier than it already is, but really doesn't change the flavor on anything.
Change the flavor or texture. I use it when I make bread. I use it in pancakes. Any of those sorts of things that if a cookie recipe calls for it, I use it there. Mostly because right now I can't do regular cow's milk.
So let me explain that right now. My son, who's 4 months old, my wife is still feeding.
Our younger son.
Our younger son. That's still weird for me too. I've got 2 sons now. Our younger son is 4 months old, and we found out the hard way that he's lactose intolerant. So
it's not permanent. It's just
it is not permanent. As his system develops, I was actually the same way till I was about 5 or 6, I think. I could have milk in my cereal, but I couldn't have a straight glass of milk. It upset my stomach too much. So my wife has had to cut out anything and everything dairy, and she will tell you that she is eating to live. She is not eating to eat. There are a lot of her foods that are pretty bland and pretty boring because she can't have dairy of any kind. No ice cream, no cheese. So that counts out pizza, cheeseburgers, I mean anything, you name it. She can't even have a bowl of cereal because she can't have milk. So that was a big contributing factor to switching to almond milk because now my wife can start to have some of those things and it won't upset my son. So that has been a positive for us as well. So, you know, I'm sorry, I got off on a little bit of a tangent there. So going back to meal replacements, Shaklee's Life Energizing Shake is actually designed to replace a meal. It gives you the nutrients you need in the course of a meal. It fills you up and keeps you going. It is very healthy for you. I will have at least a Shaklee Life energizing shake every morning for breakfast. They're quick. I did a video not too long ago that showed how fast you can make a life energizing shake compared to a cup of coffee. And in the time it took me to make a cup of coffee, from start to finish, pulling the mug out, brewing the coffee, pouring in my creamer, from start to finish, it took me the same amount of time to make a life energizing shake as it did to make myself a cup of coffee. So her telling me that she often skips meals because of this, she can take 2 minutes out of her day to make herself a life energizing shake. So I hope that she heard this question, because Shaklee does have very good, very natural, great tasting meal replacements that you can do. Their big one, the Life Energizing Shake, you can buy it on its own, but it is also part of their Shaklee 180 weight management system. Now, my friend, she's like that big around. If anything, she may need to gain a little bit of weight to more healthier weight. But that is her meal replacement if she's interested in doing it. With Shaklee, we break everything down by the day instead of by the overall cost. And so if you, let me just pull that up real quick. Let's do Life Shake, and we'll do search. Oops, hit the wrong button. Let's just go back. Search. Life Shake. Return. Okay, Shaklee Life. Ooh, right now for the summer they've got a peach flavor. Haven't tried that one yet. Okay, so let's say you do the canister of Life Shake, which is 15 servings. It's 2 scoops per serving. Okay. Let's see. Pull up. Okay. It is $50.35 per canister. Now, that is before shipping, handling, and tax. Okay. So, $50.35 at 15 servings. So, let's say you do one every day for 15 days. $50.35 divided by 15 is $3.35, call it 36 cents per meal. Okay, now take into effect going to McDonald's or going to wherever you like to go for breakfast. You can't buy breakfast for $3.36. Not going to happen. Even the meal I get from McDonald's, which is usually their crispy chicken sandwich, a hash brown, and a bottle of water, they upcharge me for the bottle of water. So I actually pay $6.04 just for that breakfast, and it really doesn't fill me up. It keeps me going till my snack, but definitely won't fill me up till lunch. So a Life Shake mixed with milk or whatever you want to mix it with is $3.36 a day. I'm sorry, but I'm saving about $2.50.
I'm sorry, I'm just in the kitchen.
Yeah, my wife's on the phone. She's trying to take care of our son, who looks to be about out.
He's still fighting a little bit.
Honey, the breakfast that I usually get at McDonald's, when I do get it, is a chicken biscuit, a hash brown, and a bottle of water for $6.04.
Okay.
It used to be $6.93 because of the bottle of water.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't know what happened. Water dropped to 69 cents, so there went my price. Now it's $6.04. A Life Shake, if you break it down by day, is $3.36. What is that, roughly $2.50 worth of savings?
Yeah, about
something like that.
$2.75. something.
250, 275, somewhere in there. So there are definite alternatives using Shaklee to have your meals and not have to skip a meal. Now, I don't know that she'll be able to do 5 to 6 meals eating 5 to 6 times a day like I can. Like I said, it's easier for me to do during the week because I'm constantly thinking about it. But a life shake can be mixed in about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, and is 2.5 cents cheaper. Stop. $2.50 cheaper than going to McDonald's. So there really is no reason to ever skip a meal. Shaklee also has their meal bars, which run about the same cost as the life shakes on a daily basis. So definitely switch it up. For a while we were doing strawberry and chocolate. Then we were doing strawberry and vanilla. Or I'd grab a peanut butter crunch meal bar from Shaklee, and that would be my breakfast. Provides the same amount of nutrients plus a little extra protein, and filled me up until I ate again. So there are meal replacements, and I hope that my friend watches this video because Shaklee definitely does have that. So now I want to hear from y'all. I want to know, do y'all have any questions as far as Shaklee goes, or what other things Shaklee has to offer? I can tell you that Shaklee touches nearly every aspect of your day-to-day life. Okay, my wife and I use the shampoo and conditioner. I use the body wash. My wife now uses the scalp treatment. Which, honey, by the way, did you by chance take your before picture?
Yes, I did.
You did. Have you taken an after picture yet?
Well, no. I'll do it when I finish this bottle.
Okay.
Give it a month or so.
How many days have you been using the bottle so far?
Like 2 or 3.
2 or 3?
Not very
Okay.
many. Yeah, it just came in.
So, and then, gosh, honey, how much laundry do we do in the course of a month? And
I don't even want to count.
yeah. In fact, when we're done here,
we do like a load a day on average. Sometimes more on the weekends.
Yeah. So, and in fact, when I'm done with y'all, I've got to go start another load because we're out of burp rags and bibs for my little one.
Probably because there's a stash of them at school.
And the truth shall set you free. Which school?
At the daycare.
At the daycare.
Yes.
No wonder we're running out so fast.
There's only like 3 or 4 of them there.
Okay. So I need to go start a load of laundry, but our laundry detergent, all of our laundry stuff is all Shaklee. Okay, so there's another aspect of our day-to-day life.
Baby shampoo and lotion.
The baby shampoo and the lotion we use on my son. There's another aspect. I use MindWorks that I was showing with y'all last night on a daily basis to help improve my mental focus, my mental stability, as it were. I've got my stress pills. We've got germ-off wipes to wipe down your counters.
Basic Age, which we use for everything.
Basic Age 2, which we use for everything. There's a formula for glass cleaners. So not only do we use it on our mirrors, but now my wife has started using it as her windshield wiper fluid, which actually I took a picture of that and I didn't get a chance to share it. Worked so well that in the picture that I took, you couldn't tell if I had the window rolled up or I had the window rolled down. Or even that I was looking through a window since it was her windshield. So that was amazing. We use a dishwashing soap. So there's another aspect. Shaklee...
The powder for the dishwasher and the liquid.
That's right. We use the liquid dishwasher. I am not going to lie. I use it mainly to wash my hands. In my opinion, in most cases, soap is soap. That's not always the case. But for the dishwashing soap, I use it to wash my hands. I use it when I wash the bottles. Corey, my wife, uses it whenever she does the pots and pans, if I haven't thrown them in the dishwasher first. And I don't know about you, honey, but I've started to notice that my hands are a lot smoother.
They're softer.
They're softer using the dishwasher soap, so it won't even damage your hands, which is great. I noticed the other day, I think it had taken me a good solid, I don't know, about an hour, 30 minutes to an hour, washing all those little pieces of bottle. And when all was said and done, my hands still didn't look like prunes. They're still very smooth.
Dr. Brown's bottles, for those of you that
Yeah,
know about baby bottles.
those of you that know, they're Dr. Brown's bottles, and they essentially
There's a million pieces with them.
See it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
6 pieces per bottle.
6 pieces per bottle, and of course they're very tiny. They're a pain, and so it takes me a good 30 minutes to an hour to wash 4 bottles because of all the little pieces, and I swear it's like putting together a bottle made out of Legos. But Shaklee touches nearly every aspect of your day-to-day life, and it's all completely safe. It's all completely natural. Shaklee.
It smells good.
It does smell good,
it smells clean.
And you know the funny thing is, a lot of the stuff that we have is actually fragrance free. So there's no artificial fragrance added to it, and it still smells very clean and it feels good. I'm not saying that I would ever do this, but when my son is mobile and starts playing around, if he should spill our bottle of Basic H and start playing in it, I don't have to worry about him having any nasty health effects because of that. Now, granted, I'm not going to let him sit there and play in it. I'll go and I'll wash him off and I'll bathe him, but I don't have to worry about it soaking into his skin and the harmful things that it's going to do to his skin, like your bleach and who knows whatever else out there. All the chemicals. And there's a lot of them. If you don't believe me, just go read a label of whatever you buy. Shaklee is incredibly safe. I trust it for myself. I trust it for my family. I trust it for my home. And I'm going to go one step further and even say that I trust it for your family. Unless there's something that you're allergic to that might be in a Shaklee product, I trust Shaklee's safety for all my friends and my family and their families. You will not find anything safer than Shaklee. And another thing that I really love about Shaklee is that they don't hide anything. If you go to my website, mcmillanwellness.myshaklee.com, it's in the description below, you will find the product labels for 99% of every one of their products. And I say 99, it's actually like 99.9. That 1%, if a label is missing, it's usually because it's the same ingredients that you find in a different version of their product. Okay, take for instance, Shaklee's Vital E. Okay, they have another one called Liquid E. At least I think they still do. It's been a while since I've seen it.
If it's still available, essentially
it's just the liquid version of the pill in liquid form. And so you may not see a label for it because everything that's in it is the exact same as what you will find in the pill. Shaklee does not hide anything. They even have a site specifically where a doctor can go and look at the labels and see exactly what's in there to see if there's anything that will hurt you. I'm not going to tell you Shaklee is a cure. Okay? I'm not going to tell you don't go see your doctor. By all means, go see your doctor. What I'm telling you is that Shaklee is safe. It's food for the most part. I mean, obviously, there's things like the laundry detergent. I wouldn't recommend it. However, having said that, Shaklee...
You would recommend ingesting it, clarify that.
Yeah, ingesting it. Let's put it that way. I will tell you that growing up, my father, when he would work in my mother's vegetable garden, would use Shaklee's Basic H to water all our fruits and vegetables. Not only were they slightly bigger than your average, but they tasted so much better too. So I know you can do that. I've already told you about my wife's car. Um, I don't know. There is a reason why I trust Shaklee with my life, and it's because of my Shaklee story.
The Vivix, when I had the flu and bronchitis combined last year, 2 years ago.
I think it was 2 years.
I was over it in about a week's time, roughly.
Okay, so she had been fighting all of this for a week already before she started taking Vivix. And Vivix is it's an anti-aging serum. Okay, I have heard of other people.
Hey.
I have heard of other people using it for other reasons. I have heard of one gentleman that uses Vivix to help his neuropathy. For those of you that don't know, neuropathy, specifically neuropathy of the feet, all your nerve endings come to an end down at the bottom of your feet. Neuropathy essentially is when all those nerve endings die, and it can actually be very painful when you're having to walk. And my father, who suffers from neuropathy as a result of his chemo, refuses to take Vivix. I'm trying to convince him to change that. He thinks it's too grapey. And yes, those are his words, not mine. But my wife starts taking Vivix after a week of fighting bronchitis and flu, and she was over it in a few days.
I felt better, not completely well, but better after the first dose.
Okay, don't get me wrong. She was taking antibiotics too, I think.
Mm-hmm. Antibiotics, I've done breathing treatments.
But nothing seemed to be working. She starts taking Vivix and immediately starts feeling better. So there are amazing things out there from Shaklee that will benefit you in so many different ways. I haven't had anybody try this one yet, but my father and I worked out a detox program that, if done successfully, could potentially reverse MS. I haven't had anybody try this one yet. I would love it if somebody would. I have another regimen in my arsenal that started to show signs of reversing Aspergers. Now, the person that was doing this was already doing something else, so she wasn't able to continue it. But what I will tell you is that her son, who at the time
he was in high school, I think.
He was in high school when all this, but he was still sleeping with his mom. When he did sleep, it was maybe two hours a night. He was staying up all hours of the night. He couldn't focus. His grades were suffering. Now, he was homeschooled, so he's a lot better now than he was. But actually, he just graduated, didn't he? He just graduated high school. But so when she started this regimen, I told her to give it a month. Okay, I will tell you, no matter what product you try it until the container is empty. Part of the Shaklee guarantee. You try a product. If at the end of using that product you're not happy with it, tell me and I will buy back the empty container from you at 100% what you paid for it. That is the Shaklee guarantee. Okay, to date I've never had to do that. But so she tried part of this regimen, was just getting started on it, and immediately, not even a week later, her son was not only sleeping in his own bed, but was sleeping a full 8 hours a night. It was absolutely remarkable. The study that I have showed that after doing the full regimen, you couldn't tell that the person that was on it even had Asperger's. Now, I have not seen that personally, so I will never make a guarantee like that. But if something like that could happen, if reversing MS could happen, think about what Shaklee could do for not only you, but your friends and your family too. Shaklee has played a huge role in my parents' lives, in my life, and now my wife's and my children's lives as well. Um, just another quick story for you. I know we're coming up on an hour. Um, my wife, when she was pregnant with our older son Logan, uh, was it before your dad or was it after your dad that we discovered that you had gestational diabetes?
It was after.
It was after. We had discovered that my wife did in fact have gestational diabetes. And like a lot of other things, we found out the hard way because my wife would eat just a regular meal and all of a sudden she'd be exhausted. Either her sugars would be really high or they'd be really low. And so I started her on Shaklee protein. And were you taking the vitalizer strip at that point?
I think I was just taking the Vitally
and the glucose.
The Omega Guard.
You were just taking your prenatals at the time.
I was just taking the prenatals.
So it was Shaklee protein, and we're talking an 8-ounce glass of Shaklee protein. It makes 16, but we would always split it. I supported my wife, and I did this with her. She was doing the Shaklee protein, the Vitally with iron, the Omega Guard, and the Optiflora?
No, I wasn't doing Optiflora.
Well, the Optiflora is your probiotic.
I wasn't doing that.
It seemed like there was something else you were doing.
B complex.
And the B complex. Yeah, okay. So with those three, she was able to very much manage her gestational diabetes. Now, I told you this, I had mentioned that this was after her dad. 3 months into her pregnancy.
It was 16 weeks.
16 weeks. 4, 8, 12. So you were actually closer to 4 months.
We were about to find out what he was.
Okay. So
16 weeks.
16 weeks, 4 months into my wife's pregnancy, her dad died. Those of you that do know, that have children, know that stress on a woman's body while she's pregnant can be very dangerous, not only for her, but for the baby as well. And so not having to have stress, and then you throw your dad dying in on top of it, you can imagine what that did to her. I immediately started her on 2 products, one called Stress Relief Complex, the other one called Mood Lift. And I'm not going to lie, she was numb through the majority of her pregnancy. It's why there's a lot of what went on during that pregnancy is in my head. But not only did it keep her from completely losing her mind, but our son Logan is perfectly healthy. There are no side effects at all. So it was very, and I didn't even consider talking to her doctor about it. I just did it. That was my natural instinct, was to start her on those.
I did. I talked to the doctor about it.
Did you?
Because I was afraid I needed antidepressants because I couldn't function. But she said that what I was doing was fine. So,
and that was the stress relief and the mood lift. And it probably most likely saved our son's life. I would probably warrant to guess. And then, of course, fast forward 7 years, and Shaklee has changed some things. My wife and I have gotten much healthier, and here comes our son Ryan. And what Shaklee had changed was Shaklee has a product called Vitalizer. There's a Vitalizer Men, a Vitalizer Women, and a Vitalizer Gold for anybody 50 years or older. And I had immediately started my wife on Vitalizer because the Vitalizer Women now includes the prenatal, postnatal vitamins that you need. So I immediately started my wife on that, and we've been doing the life shakes. We've been walking a little bit, and I'm very proud to say that now my son is 4 months old. My wife didn't have diabetes at all, and
granted, I did take the glucose regulation complex nearly my entire pregnancy.
That's right. There was another one called glucose regulation that my wife did take for this one as well. But I'm very happy to say that my wife did not have diabetes. I think she came close, but didn't actually hit the
Yeah.
line.
No, it was just barely underneath. I just barely passed the tests, but I did pass.
But she did pass. And so I have Shaklee to thank for that. I have a very healthy and wonderful family because of Shaklee. I will tell you that last year my son was in first grade. The year before, when he was in kindergarten, um, my son missed, 6 or 7 days throughout the course of the school year because he wasn't
Something
feeling
like
well.
that, yeah.
This last year, after he finished his first grade, I'm very happy to announce that having him on his Incredivites from Shaklee, my son had perfect attendance last year. So, and we're off to a good start this year. So, that is just a little bit about Shaklee and my Shaklee story, my why, and how Shaklee can help you. So, I hope that y'all got a lot out of this tonight. We have hit our hour mark. I could talk probably another 4 or 5 hours on Shaklee. But I won't put y'all through that. If y'all have any questions, please feel free to contact me. My email address is steve@stevemcmillan, that's MCMILLAN.org. Would be more than happy to contact you. You can also contact me through my Shaklee site. I want to hear from you. I want to know how Shaklee can help you, and I'm going to start you off with the health print because it is a great tool to get started in Shaklee and know how you can have a happier and healthier lifestyle while looking younger longer. So y'all take care. Have a great night. We'll talk to y'all next week. Y'all take care.